This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back. Reiki is a wonderful modality that can help you heal. We'll get into that in just a moment. You have things to heal from, trust me. And it's not like I'm a clairvoyant or a psychic. I just know, because we all do. And it can really move your life forward, make you feel better. So many benefits from Reiki. And we're going to talk about that today, and also what to expect before, during, and after a Reiki session. She is a master Reiki practitioner and teacher, and so great to have her back with us. Heather Love is on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm great. It's a wonderful sunny day.
Same thing here. Yeah, you're in, where are you? I'm trying to remember where you're located.
I'm in Columbia, Maryland.
That's right. Yeah, some nice weather here in New York. It's actually refreshing. It's not too humid, not too hot. I wish we could duplicate these. Put them in a machine, spit them all out, so we have a full summer of these. But we're grateful for whatever we get. Another day we're grateful for. So with Reiki, and I heard that word honestly when I was a kid. I used to work at intern at a cable station, and would operate the cameras and stuff like that when I was in high school. And there was a lady on that would do Reiki and talk about Reiki. And I was like, what the heck is that? What is that word? What does that all mean? Fast forward to maybe the last 3-4 years where I started having Reiki done. And just what a difference. Like the feeling that you get. How do you prepare for it? Why don't we talk about that? Is there any preparation before you do a session?
Well, for the client coming in, they would just want to be in comfortable clothing, nothing too constricting, so that you can work with them and just be able to connect the body as needed. How should I say? So it's a great thing to do, to just wear comfortable clothes. You could wear sweats, just whatever is comfortable for you. And so then while you have them on the table, then you're just gonna tell them just relax. And what I usually do is use crystals. So I'll put crystals on the different chakras and have those laid out beforehand. And then I'd say afterwards it would be, just letting them tell you a little bit about their experience of how it worked.
So does anybody need to reveal anything to you before you do a session? Like, do we have to talk about, what we're going through, what we might want to get out of a session, anything like that?
Yeah. So usually I would talk to the person for, a couple minutes and see what it is that they are wanting out of the session, and whether it's some more clarity or, just relaxation. And they would just let me know what it is that, they're trying to achieve from the session. And so that can be really helpful. And then especially, when I have them on the table, and then, I'm scanning their body and feeling for, hot spots or cold spots or things like that.
Yeah. And just let's make this clear. You don't have to physically touch somebody when you say, they're on the table. This doesn't need to. You can, but you don't need to, actually come in contact with somebody.
Yes, it can be either way. I am a hands-on person. I feel better that way. And I can also hover and sense as well. So I do kind of both sometimes.
It's pretty amazing, because we're talking about energy here, how this can be done virtually.
Yeah.
I've had virtual sessions, and I'm just sharing what I've seen before. where the Reiki practitioner uses, my best description here, a proxy client. So it could be a stuffed animal where they're, feeling that everybody has a Reiki master practitioner has their own method, but again, it just proves that you don't have to touch somebody. You don't have to be in their presence. I once had a Reiki session. Somebody like yourself text me and said, "Okay, well, I'll be starting about 8 o'clock. Get in a comfortable spot, and I'll let you know what I find. I'll let you know when I'm done." That was it. They were 5 states away. That was it.
Yeah.
and a lot of things in a very good way were revealed. I felt better. I felt lighter. I had more clarity. Pretty amazing. What do people tell you after a session?
Yeah, so just about everyone, I don't think that there's anyone who hasn't said that they feel more relaxed, more comfortable, and that they have had some insights or clarity about whatever they came in for. And yeah, that just really solidifies that whole experience of having the Reiki done.
What was the moment where you realized, the first time where you realized this Reiki thing is amazing? Do you remember that moment?
Yes, so that was in the way back when time. um, so yeah, I was working with a group in like a shaman group, and yeah, I remember just things clicking together and coming together and propelling me on this path. And I just felt like, yes, this is for me. That I can do this. This is amazing.
What was it for you that was the game changer? What did you feel? What came out of the session? Anything stand out?
Well, my very first session was with a woman who she was in my college at the time, and she performed Reiki on me, and I was so nervous. I was just like wound up tight and had a couple of kids, and just a ball of tightness and nerves. And then she puts her hands, over my eyes and over my chest. And when she got to my chest, I was kind of like almost hyperventilating, like because I was so stressed out. And finally, like the end of the session, I was just so calm and relaxed and just what you want out of a Reiki session. You want to be that calm and relaxed person. So yeah, that was my experience.
It's amazing when you think back, because I'm getting visuals in my mind for the first time I heard a sound bowl. So that's not Reiki, but it's connected to energy, call it metaphysical, whatever it is. And I went to I don't even know what it was, a cacao meditation where the pure chocolate was used.
Yes.
It's supposed to give you, again, clarity, maybe euphoric properties. But before the session began, and I had no idea what I was walking into. It's just a friend said, "Yeah, why don't you come with me?" And I sat there, and to start the session, they hit a sound bowl, and I was like, "Whoa, that's, oh
Yeah.
gosh." You could feel it. Like it was like a hurricane, bam, hitting you in the face. I'm like, "Oh, all right. Now I'm getting this. Now I'm understanding, why people do sound baths. Same reason why they do Reiki,
Right.
to heal." When we talk about healing, what are we talking about? I think maybe we should go there.
Okay. Um, so healing could mean various things for various people. Um, I would say that you would, because it's for each individual person how they would describe healing. But like, for me, for example, I'd say um, like if there was something stuck or um, not working or not flowing in the body, um, that's where I would put my attention and focus on that, whether I'm doing a Reiki session for myself or someone else. Um, that that would that would just be the case where they accept the healing, or maybe they don't accept the healing. if that makes sense, because there
Mhm.
are some people who possibly could reject that energy.
Would
I
they
haven't really experienced much of that, but yeah.
would they knowingly reject it, or they're just not open to it?
It could be either one. You know, I've had, I think, only maybe one experience where the person didn't connect, or just wasn't flowing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that may have only happened just once in all of the years that I've done that.
Yep, I got you. You have to be open to healing and believing that it's going to work, because it will. And I'll share with you, hypnotherapy is another thing that, big champion of, as I am for Reiki. And somebody I'm very close to suggested hypnotherapy, gave them a referral, and they did 3 sessions, and they said, "Man, it doesn't work. I didn't again. No, it's not working." I know their personality. I know they weren't open to it.
Mhm.
I just know. There's not even a doubt in my mind. And maybe in future sessions, if they continued with it, they might have had some breakthroughs and realized how this works and that it does work. But you got to be open to it. Otherwise, it's blocked energy. You're just blocking, like you said, the flow of energy. If you're not open to it, that's what's going on there.
And quick question. Well, not question so much, but you talked about the cacao ceremony.
Hmm.
I've been to many of them, but
Oh,
unfortunately,
really?
I can't take that because I they give me migraines. The chocolate, the
Oh,
cacao. Yeah. So
is it
um,
any chocolate or just the purest
just,
chocolate?
just just any chocolate. So I learned that after many years of having Halloween with
Uh,
candy and stuff. I learned that I could not have chocolate anymore, and that it was causing me some bad effects.
I feel
Unfortunately,
so bad for you.
I know, but this is why I wanted to say,
Yeah.
enjoy that for me, please.
It
So
wasn't it.
what do you do?
The whole session was interesting. Yeah, I know we're pivoting for a moment, but it's all about energy, right? Um, the the cacao comes from the rainforest. It's the highest concentration of magnesium, I think it is. And they sweetened it with agave, and we just drank a little bit. I don't know that I felt a lot from that, but there was the practitioner was having us breathe certain ways, and we just all were laying down on mats and everything. I'm going to say this: everybody was crying. Everybody in that room had tears. They told us to focus on something we want to change, and I gotta tell you, everybody was crying. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on here?" But that's the way it's supposed to work, where you have clarity, realization, direction, all of that. I don't know anybody that's ever cried from Reiki. um, fallen asleep, that's different, myself included. I mean, that's something else that can happen too, right?
Yes, and they would tell me about, like one person had seen in her vision, um, like a lion's face come up to her or something like that. So everybody had all of these unique experiences about, how the session went.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, and we've skimmed on this before. What comes up for you after a session with someone? What you sense, you feel? Can you share any of those? It's confidential. We don't know who you're talking about, but maybe it's like different things that may have presented after you did a session.
Well, the one like I just mentioned with the image of the lion coming up to the person. Um, a lot of people would have those types of experiences where they may see colors when they're under Reiki. They might have like a vision of something, um, something that gives them a little bit more clarity in what they're here for. So yeah, it can be a variety of things.
Have you had somebody you work with where after a session, maybe they had an epiphany, like just something like, oh my gosh, I never realized that. Anything that comes back in your memory?
Something like that, yeah. So I remember having a realtor who was a friend of mine, and she was kind of undecided about what path she wanted to go. And we talked about it for a little bit. And it's kind of like the coaching part of my job. And so she went on to be a realtor, and she's still doing that.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for the reminder how you are a holistic coach. So, like, beautiful blend. You work with somebody, you change their energy so that it flows, and now what do you do? Now you have the coaching side of things, so that somebody can move their life even forward, more forward. When you say holistic coach, how do you define that?
So holistic, you're taking into account the entire body, the whole aura, like everything, all of the space that you take up, and all of the layers of you, if that makes any sense. Um, so yeah, that's going to be a little different for everyone because of what they're working on. You could be working on like a heartfelt issue. You could be working on something that's really challenging or stressful, and working on clearing that out of the physical body. So yeah, there's a lot that can be done there.
Would you also work with somebody on their goals, like the person you mentioned, the with the real estate business?
Yeah.
Um, could they bounce things off of you and work with them on a coaching level for something like that?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And I did sit with her for a good amount of time. We were talking about what she had done previously, which I don't quite remember because it's been about a year or so since I've seen her. But yeah, um, yeah, it's definitely something that is coachable.
hmm
Yeah.
When somebody has a challenge, let's say I'm going hypothetical here, a relationship challenge, and they come to you and you clear out their energy, right? And maybe they're healing from the relationship situation. Now a week or two has gone by, and let's just say things got challenging again in the relationship. Maybe they had an argument with somebody or whatever it might be. I got to believe that energy's getting mucked up again, if you will. Um, does the energy, are they ahead of the game, so to speak? Even if they had an issue, with energy, working with somebody, talking with somebody, um, obviously do another session, but are they already ahead from where their energy was? And even though something presented itself, they're still in a better place, right?
Yes, I would agree with that. I would
Okay.
definitely agree with that. So, yeah, if they were having a struggle on, like, say this week, they're having major struggles with their partner or their friend or their job, whatever it is. Um, yeah, and then they kind of move into the next week, and maybe that week is a little bit better, or maybe who knows, it gets a little bit worse. Sometimes stuck things in your body can make it feel a whole lot worse, but it might be moving in the better direction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost as if um, you know you have a cup, and now it was filled up with bad energy or stuck energy, however you want to present it, and now you've emptied the cup a little bit. Maybe there's only like a quarter in there. You might have had another challenge that's connected to energy, again, an argument with somebody, whatever. Maybe the energy now is filled up of that bad negative, but you're still ahead, by
Right.
clearing everything out. Can you detect that in somebody, when you're initially working with them? Not the situation, but the energy.
Right. Yeah. You can feel, well, I can feel what's out of balance, and like what's coming up. Like maybe it's in their throat chakra. Maybe that's like the one that's igniting. that I'm seeing or sensing, feeling. So
I've always wanted to ask this question.
okay.
What do you feel?
Sometimes it's coming through my hands. Other times it's I'm intuiting what's happening. I get things in my hands when I'm scanning. There's a warm sensation. I tend to heat up, like my body heats up. And I'm like sweating. Wow. So I have to use, fans, whatever I have to do. But yeah. So.
You weren't kidding when you said a hot spot.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. So let's say, you're initially starting a session. You're starting a session with somebody and you're running your hands, over their body. Again, don't have to touch them. Right. And, you pass by the throat chakra. Could you physically feel, hot, heat right there?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and what would that say to you? What are you getting from that?
It could be a variety of things. Like sometimes a certain chakra, like the throat chakra, can be blocked, and it just, let's see, how do I put this? So if it's blocked, it could be either that they're blocking it with their own energy, and it's just not moving. So that's one way that could happen. And then the other one would be, let's see, where I guess they're stuck. They're just so stuck, and I may have to work with them a little bit longer.
Have you sensed a chakra completely blocked, stuck, like all the way?
Yes. And sometimes it takes a good while to get that energy flowing in the right direction. And then let's say it's the solar plexus, like their solar plexus is like shut down for some reason. So what I would do is work on the solar plexus a little bit, work on the chakra below and the chakra above. And then sometimes, also connect the root chakra with the heart, and getting that better flow of energy up and down the spine.
So I thank you for that. I've never heard it described that way, and I'm visualizing like gears, cogs in a motor, where they all have to turn in sync for the motor to move or do whatever it's going to do. Are the chakras all kind of interdependent?
Somewhat, yeah. So they all, like the root chakra all the way up through the crown, they're all working in a system, up, down. And yeah, so it's just like an amazing little
like seriously.
Yeah, it's up and down. And then, if there is a blockage, like a lot of people, for me, example, my throat chakra is one that I focus and pay attention to, and, spin it this way, spin it that, whichever way, somebody feels best of spinning their chakras. And you just would, do that flow of all the chakras, and it's nice and balancing. It's very calming too.
Amazing. And thank you for the clarity on that, because these are things I've always wondered about, having had Reiki before. How do we connect with you? How do we do that, Heather?
Well, my phone number is 443-375-6936. And you can also reach me at email, heatherlenorelove@gmail.com.
Beautiful. And again, as we said, this can be done anywhere, virtually. If you're feeling a little out of sorts, this could be the answer, changing up your energy and keeping it flowing. Appreciate everything today. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Likewise. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.